Let's take a look at the top 25 teams in action tonight in college basketball. Kentucky with a rematch against Vanderbilt, a team that won on their home floor in Nashville earlier this season. We'll see Auburn and Alabama playing separate games in their first games since meeting up as the 1 and 2 teams in the country, respectively. And St. John's looking to get a little bit closer to a Big East championship. We have Sportsline's Tim Doyle. He's got the gold hammer out. He's got winning picks coming our way. 11-4 on Friday. 5-4 last time we had him on Tuesday. Let's keep the winning picks rolling, and let's start with Kentucky looking to get some revenge against Vandy as a 4.5-point favorite at home.
Yeah, Vandy won the first matchup by 5, so this is no doubt a revenge spot, but no Lamont Butler for Kentucky. It looks like he's not going to be a go, and he's the leader of this squad. I'm going to pick Kentucky in this game, and I'm going to take them on the money line. I am just not going to lay points here. You're a better person than me if you want to lay the points. Chris, this game was 6.5, then 6, 5.5, 5, now 4.5. Like, trending in the wrong direction. Vanderbilt has had an outstanding season. They can shoot the ball. They can spread you out. But I trust Kentucky in their depth. You know, if you add in Butler there, roughly they have 6 guys averaging in double figures. And last time they were home, they had an amazing win over Tennessee. Like, this is a game that your home crowd just wills you to victory. I need to see more TNT. Travis Perry, Trent Noah, both those guys were awesome against Tennessee. I think they came a little bit back to earth, but now on their home floor, young guys, role players going to feel a little bit more comfortable. You're better than me if you lay the points. I'm going to be taking Kentucky on the money line.
Kentucky, one of the highest scoring teams in the country. We'll see 2 high scoring teams matching up in a top 15 showdown as number 4 Bama goes to number 15 Missouri. A high total here, 170.5, Tim, and Missouri is actually the slight favorite. What do you think?
I don't love this game. Like, this is one of those games that this is probably one of the biggest college basketball games, Hassel, that Missouri has played. I can't even remember when. Like, you got a Final Four team coming to town. You have a Missouri team that's in the top 15. They're balanced. They've had a tremendous year. They've had some awesome wins on the road in conference. You know, this is one of the best basketball conferences I have seen since, you know, the 90s in the ACC with like Vince Carter and Anton Jameson, or the Big East with Ray Allen and Allen Iverson. The SEC has that much depth and that much. I'm going to pick Alabama here on the money line. Now, you know, they've had a disappointing loss recently to Auburn, but, you know, you still have Mark Sears who's been through the wars. Like, they have been in these spots. Grant Nelson, you know, let's not forget, they went to a Final Four. Like, this is uncharted territory for Missouri. Now, Missouri might go out there, feed off the crowd. It's going to be an electric environment, make a bunch of shots, and they win this game by 15. My trust factor is with a team that's been around the block. So I'm going to take Alabama here on the money line, but this is a very difficult game.
Listen to how Bama closes the season. You referenced that their last game was against number 1 Auburn. So they got number 15 Missouri tonight, then number 17 Kentucky, number 21 Mississippi State, number 6 Tennessee, number 2 Florida, and then they finish at number 1 Auburn, and that's where we go tonight. Auburn back in action at home against Coach Cal and the Hogs. And Jerry Palm has Arkansas as right on the bubble there as one of his last teams in the tournament. Huge spread.
Yeah, I mean, I have Auburn winning it all, and I have a ticket with them at plus 370. I actually had them with the Eagles with Auburn. So I've been looking at that ticket because they're offering me a cash out, and I'm like, because now they're down to plus about 300 or plus 320. That's how much I love Auburn. In my eyes, I think they're by far the best team in college basketball because it's not just Broome. He has help around him. I think this line's out of control. I think Auburn should be like 9 or 10 or 11, 16.5. I got to take Arkansas. So you know how high I feel about Auburn. You know, they didn't embarrass themselves last out. That was a very competitive game from Arkansas for basically 35 minutes. They ended up losing by 8 at A&M. I just think they have talent. The talent is certainly, it's just a matter of putting it together. And this is like one of those stages, that a big stage like this for Arkansas, like your players are going to show up. Now, how they close the season is basically going to be how they make the tournament. Because Missouri at home, like, got to win that game. Texas, that's a must win. South Carolina, you know, beat Clemson early in the year, but you got to win that game. Like, I believe that when it's all said and done, they are going to get into the tournament. I think they keep this game relatively close. So I'll take the points with Arkansas.
Now, Ark won straight up as an 8.5-point dog when Cal went back to Lexington to face the Wildcats a few weeks ago. One more pick from you. It's St. John's looking to move closer to that elusive Big East championship. It's been over 30 years, and I know as a former Johnny, you got to be. Are you going to order a ring when they get one, like to go along with the NIT ring that you have from back in the day?
You know, it's surprising they did not call me, even though I live about 15 minutes from DePaul's arena, and offer me complimentary tickets to this game. So maybe it was because that NIT championship is now vacated because we cheated. Now it would not be called cheating because they were paying guys when you should have been paying guys. I went back and forth on this game. I think St. John's is going to win. I think they could win by 20. Maybe DePaul makes some shots and keep I don't know what to do with the game. Like, it's freezing out here. Like, it's like bone-chilling Midwest cold. Like, maybe St. John's just does enough and it's kind of an ugly game. So I was trying to figure out, like, what's the best way to handicap this? And then I saw the number. DePaul, their team total under. Now, you see Rick Pitino here. Year 1 versus year 2. How about the soundbite, Reese? You got to dig in. Adversity's a part of life. I was ready to run through a wall. Rick Pitino, same high school as yours truly. So I was chasing a lot of his scoring records, and he actually played high school basketball without a three-point line. He's adapted. A lot of coaches, Chris, have walked away from the game. Jay Wright, Roy Williams, Coach K, right? They're like Tony Bennett. They're like, we don't want to do this anymore in the world of NIL. Rick Pitino's like, no problem, baby. I'm going to get me some guys. Oh, you're not going to defend anybody? I'm paying you $600,000. No problem. I'll get someone else here next year, and I'm paying them $700,000. I think they lock up DePaul. I can't believe the team total is 65. I thought it was going to be around like 60.5. Last 2 games, so 2 out of the last 3 for DePaul, 58 and 49. I think St. John's is actually overrated, and I think the Big East is a bit overrated, but they do lock up defensively. My model has this game. I don't have a model. I used to have a lot of models when I was single. Now I drive a minivan with 36 cup holders. McClure's got all the models. All the sports lines, they're always hanging out with these models. I'm not hanging out with any models. I'm freezing my tushy off here in the Midwest, watching a college basketball game, hoping for misses. Give me under in this game for DePaul.
Okay, DePaul scored 61 in the first meeting between these two teams. The Johnnies won by 28. Tim Doyle with no model and no models, but he does have winning picks usually more often than not when he comes and visits us on HQ. Although that, come on, Kentucky money line minus 215.
It's because he's not distracted by the models.
That's right. He likes Alabama money line even money, Arkansas plus 16.5, and that team total under for DePaul.